Arrogance definitely played a part in myself not getting help before I did. Without the knowledge of the disease aspect, I always thought that doing drugs and drinking alcohol and not being able to control it was a reflection of my weak character or lack of willpower. But the disease is not a matter of willpower. Once I take that first drink of drug, I'm no longer able to control it. I had to do away with that arrogance and humble myself and, realize that this disease is bigger than me and I can't control it on my own. So after the repeated failures in recovery and trying to stay sober, the last time I came to Terra, I did walk in here completely beaten down. Any arrogance I had was shattered. And, it's kind of funny because before I had arrogance for no reason. My life was in shambles. I looked awful, underweight, but I still walked around with my chest puffed out and arrogant. Completely lost, but still arrogant. I don't know if it's just alcoholics in general or specific people, but I was just full of ego and pride. And that's why I'm so thankful after being in the program for a while. A lot of the 12 steps are designed to deflate ego. So today, talking to you, I'm a completely different person than I was when I came in here. Hitting bottom, as they say in the recovery community, is not a fun place to be. I found out that you can pick where your bottom is. I've been at a place where I thought it was my bottom, and I went even lower. You know what I mean? They say there's a trap door always in your bottom, meaning it can always get worse. And it's a place where you don't want to live anymore. It is a miserable feeling, and it feels like there's no hope at all. But I'm here to tell you there is hope. I've been lucky enough to have my father as an example. He went to Hazelden in Minnesota when he was 19. So when I got to this place of wanting to end my life and not continue, I grabbed strength, knowing his story and knowing that there is a way out. So I always knew what I needed to do, but at the end of the day, doing it is a lot different. It's a lot harder because, like I said, when you're at that point of just utter depression, not wanting to get out of bed or anything, it's hard to muster the strength to do so. But there are people out there that will help you. I've been on other medications or tried other ways to abstain from alcohol and drugs, but Alcoholics Anonymous is the only way I've found to be abstinent and be happy. I was on the Suboxone for a while, but they say this is a thinking problem, not a drinking problem, and you can plug in whatever your drug choice is, whatever. So when I was on that medication, I was drug free, but the thought process was still all wrong, and I was still miserable. So like I said, AA is the only way I found to stay sober and be happy. And I can't say enough about AA, the things that it's taught me, the values, the fellowship it has. Like I said before, it is fun. I would not stick around if it wasn't fun. There's all kinds of activities we do all the time, camping trips, picnics for holidays. We're always getting together doing something. And what I've experienced in AA that I didn't before is genuine laughter. The only time I would smile before is when I was about to get a fix. And like I said, I was lucky enough to get in. And Terra, they tailored a program for me specific to what I needed. I had dealt with the suicide of my best friend who I came to find. And some of the plan they laid out for me was therapy and counseling designed specifically for that, along with relapse prevention, because I had been prone to relapse before. So, it's not just a cookie cutter plan they have for everybody. It was an individualized plan of action that really helped me get a good foundation before I went back into the real world. I think it's real important to be slowly given a little more rope and not just be thrown back into the environment I was in before. I don't think I could have done it that way. So, Terra, they paved the way for me to be successful. Life today is a lot different from what it used to be, I can tell you that for sure. The biggest difference I have today is on the inside. Before all I centered my life around was what made me feel good. That's all I cared about, what made me feel good, what benefited me. But as a result of working the program and having higher power in my life today, my purpose is different today. The biggest way I can describe the change in myself is that the focus has shifted off of myself onto other people. And as counterintuitive as that sounds, I feel the best about myself and with myself when I'm helping people. So whether it's sponsoring people, doing little things like holding the door open, just little things like that. I've learned it's in the little things that I find the most contentment. As far as circumstances with me, I still currently work at the restaurant that I started volunteering when I was in the transition program at Terra. But in the past, like I've said, I worked way too much. So if anything, this time I've undershot the bar and just focused on recovery. It is an exciting time for me right now because I have other opportunities coming about, and that's only because of the program that I'm able to do so. If I got what I deserved, I would be 6 feet under right now. But this program has given me a way to deal with that and not only stay sober, but be happy. Because if I wasn't happy and having fun in recovery, I would not have stuck with it. If you're somebody who is struggling and has hit that bottom and completely hopeless, there is a way out. There are places out there to help you, like Terra Treatment Center. What I was told when I came in was to give it 6 months or a year, and if things don't get better, they will refund your misery, as they say. That life is always going to be out there. But if you are at a place where you're desperate enough to get help and want to do it for you, take that leap of faith, make some phone calls, do whatever you need to do to get started in the recovery community, and I promise it will not be disappointing.